Okay, so I'm going to do my exponents first. So I'm going to do that 3 squared first. Well, 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, so now I'm left with adding and multiplying. What comes next in order of operations? Multiplying. 3 times 9 is 27. Good. So 2 plus 27 is 29. So number 1, the answer is 29. Now I should be able to see those steps there. Okay, let's try number 2. Number 2 says f of negative 4. So every time I see an x, I'm going to put in a negative 4. So I have 4 times negative 4, because that's an x, and now I'm plugging that in for it, plus 6. Okay, 4 times negative, so am I going to multiply or add first?
Multiply.
Yep, multiply. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 plus 6. Negative 16 plus 6 gives me a negative 10. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Number 3. Number 3 says h of negative 1. So I have 6 minus 2 parentheses. Now I'm going to put in that negative 1 and squared. So I see subtracting, I see multiplying, and I see exponents. Which one should come first?
Exponent.
Exponents. So that's a negative 1 times a negative 1. What is negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. Yep. So I have 2 times 1 there. So now I'm going to do multiplying. 2 times 1 is going to get me that 2. So I have 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay, so function notation is just plugging that number in. We'll do one more. We'll do number 4. It says g of negative 3. So every time I see an x, I'm going to put in that negative 3. So I have negative 3 parenthesis, then a negative 3 plus 7. Negative 3, I have multiplying and adding, so I'm going to do the multiplying first. So negative 3 times a negative 3 is a positive 9 plus 7. 9 plus 7 is 16. Okay, so that should explain how you're going to do page 86. Okay, so you're gonna have to go back and finish page 86. Now we're gonna look at page 90. Again, I will display it for you so you don't have to get it out yet. Page 90. So take a new piece of paper. At the top of your piece of paper, put page 90 function packet at the top so that way you're organized. Okay. Page 90, function packet. Okay. Number 1. Now, this has a rule. It has n and f of n. And we're going to plug in. So just like the other one, you're going to plug in these values for x. But instead of just having one value, they actually have 4 here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have to put in 0, I have to put in 1, I have to put 2 in, and then I have to put 3 in. So it's like 4 problems in one. And the rule is 2 times n minus 5. Okay, so wherever I see an n, I'm going to put in the number they give me. So 2 parenthesis, instead of n now, I'm going to put in a 0. So I have 0 minus 5. Order of operations tells me I need to do this stuff in parentheses first. I have to do that 0 minus 5. So what is 0 minus 5? It's negative 5. So now I have 2 times negative 5, which is a negative 10. Okay, now I'm going to plug in the 1. 2 parenthesis 1 minus 5. Order of operations tells me I need to do this stuff in the parentheses first. 1 minus 5 is a negative 4. So now I have 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. Okay. Plugging in the 2. 2 times 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 2 times negative 3 is a negative 6. Evan, you better be writing these down in the back there. Number 3, 2 parenthesis 3 minus 5. What is 3 minus 5? Well, that's a negative 2. So I have 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. Evan, look alive. Much better. For a second. Okay, so that is everything you need for number 1. There's 4 answers for negative 1, for number 1. Okay, let's try number 2. I'll do another one with you. Number 2 is a little bit more involved. Okay, number 2. Okay, we're gonna plug in a 0 wherever we see an X. There's actually 2 X's that we have to plug it into. So I have 3 times what my X value is. So I have 3 times 0. And then in parentheses, I have 0 minus 4. Well, 3 times 0 is still 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 0 times negative 4 gives me a 0 for my first one. Okay, now we're going to plug in a 1 wherever we see an X. So 3 times 1, and then we have 1 minus 4 in my parentheses. Well, 3 times 1 is still 3. 1 minus 4 is a negative 3. So now I have 3 times negative 3, which is negative 9. Okay, now I'm going to plug in the 2. So I have 3 times 2, and then 2 minus 4 in my parentheses. Well, 3 times 2 gives me 6. 2 minus 4 gives me a negative 2. 6 times negative 2 is a negative 12. Okay, and then on number 3, 3 times 3, and then 3 minus 4 is in parentheses. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 minus 4 is a negative 1. 9 times negative 1 is a negative 9. Okay, so page 86 and page 90 are the ones that are going to take you a lot longer because there's a lot of steps in these. Okay, now we're also going to look at page 93. And I will tell you at the end which pages you have to do one more time. So don't worry. Page 93 will be assigned to you, but if you look at page 93, there is only 3 questions on page 93, and they're A, B, C, D. Okay? Then you'll also have page 95, which if you look at page 95, there's 2 questions on page 95. And you'll have page 96, which the good news on page 96 is there is only 2 more questions. Okay, so